Namaste to all JVNs. Myself JVN Dr. Khushbu Verma from Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science. Today we will discuss about cell suspension culture. Cell suspension culture is a type of tissue culture technique in which we can isolate a single cell and then we can enhance secondary metabolite concentration through the cell suspension culture, or we can propagate a new whole plant with only a single cell. So basically these are the advantages of cell suspension culture. So in this session we will discuss about the basic techniques which are used in the cell suspension culture, as well as we will discuss about the types of cell suspension culture. Plant tissue culture is defined as collection of experimental methods of growing plant cell tissues and organs in an artificially prepared nutrient medium, static or liquid, under aseptic conditions. It is also referred to as a micropropagation. It was firstly introduced by the G. Haberland, and the basic key used in the plant tissue culture is the totipotency of the plant cell, meaning uh, that each plant cell has the potential to regenerate into a complete plant. This kind of a capacity is known as totipotency. With this characteristic, plant tissue culture is used to produce genetically identical plants, means clones, in the absence of fertilization, pollination, or seeds. The cell suspension culture, also called as a plant cell culture, is a system for production of fine chemicals. It can be defined as the culture of tissues or cells cultured in liquid nutrient medium, producing a suspension of single cells and cell clumps. Cell suspension culture is the primary route for studying plant cell secondary metabolism. The cell suspension culture requires optimization of the cell line and the cultivation of media and the bioreactor system. Here is the flow diagram. In this diagram, we can see this is the callus culture, and it will be transferred into the liquid medium. Then we incubate it over shaker, and the clumps of cells will be segregated and cells will be submerged into liquid nutrient medium. This is called cell suspension culture. Now we can filter the media, and cells will be separated from this media. Then it will be transferred or resuspend into a fresh medium. Again and again we will do the serial kind of a dilution. Then we can go for the homeocytometer, through which we will again go for the cell suspension culture. After the completion or after the proper growth of cells into the suspension medium, we will use some amount of cell suspension culture and then we plate it on the solid medium. So you can say we will do planting of cell suspension. After getting a solid base, cells will start to divide and start to make a clump, or they will do the cell aggregation process. After the proper mitosis division, embryoids will be developed. Then first shoot will be generated and then root will be generated and complete regenerative plant will be developed. Now come to the types of cell suspension culture. There are two types of cell suspension culture, batch culture and continuous culture. Each of these cultures have its own advantage and all types are being used in the practice. In the batch culture, it is a type of cell suspension culture where the cell material grows in a finite volume of agitated liquid medium. These cultures are maintained continuously by subculture. Batch culture are most commonly maintained in conical flasks incubated on orbital platform shakers at the speed of 80 to 120 rpm. It is a closed system with no additions or removal of nutrient and waste products during the period of incubation. This is the growth curve in batch culture. You can simply can see here. This is the lag phase here. No cell number will be increased, and after the short period of lag phase, it will go under the exponential phase. With the exceeding of time, cell numbers will also increase. Then linear phase also will come, which will be followed by the progressive declaration, and then at the end, stationary phase will be developed. The types of batch culture is first is slow rotatory cultures. In this culture, single cells and cell aggregates are grown in specially designed flasks, which are the nipple flasks, and each nipple flask possesses 8 nipple-like projections having a capacity of 250 ml. They are loaded in a circular manner on the large flat disc of vertical shaker. When the flat disc rotates at a speed of 1 or 2 rpm, the cells within each nipple of the flask are alternatively bathed in the culture medium and exposed to the air. This is the flow diagram of this kind of a culture where you can see nipple flask, and this is the media, and these are the nipples containing explant, and this is the neck of the flask with cotton bump. And this is large disc rotated at 1 to 2 revolutions per minute. Next one is the shaken cultures. It is very effective system. In this method, single cells and cell aggregates in fixed volume of liquid medium are placed in conical flasks. These flasks are then mounted with the help of clips on the horizontal large square plate of an orbital platform shaker. The square plate moves in a circular motion at the speed of 60 to 180 rpm. Third one is the spinning cultures. In this culture system, large bottles are used, usually bottles with the capacity of 10 liters. Large volumes of the cell suspension is cultured in 10-liter bottles with the bottles spinning in a spinner at 120 rpm at an angle of 40 degrees. Fourth one is the stirred culture. In this system, it can be used for large-scale batch culture. In this method, the large culture vessel is not rotated, but the cell suspension inside the vessel is kept dispersed continuously by bubbling sterile air through the culture medium. Internal magnetic stirrer is used to agitate the culture medium safely. The magnetic stirrer resolves at 200 to 600 rpm. This is the flow diagram. Here you can see simply AI means air input and AO means air outlet. CW is cotton wool. IP is an inoculation port. A is a aerator which will create the aeration in the medium. S is stirrer magnet. ST is sample tube, and MS is magnetic stirrer base on which it will be rotate, and SWL is still water line. SR is a sample receiver. So simply this is the diagram where you can understand easily stirrer batch culture. Second type is continuous culture. In the continuous culture system, the old liquid medium is replaced continuously by the fresh liquid medium to stabilize the physiological state of the growing cells. In this system, nutrient depletion does not occur due to the continuous flow of nutrients, and the cell always remain in the steady growth phase. Continuous culture is further divided into two types. First is in closed type, the used medium is replaced with the fresh medium. Hence, the cells from used medium are mechanically retrieved and added back to the culture, and thus the cell biomass keeps increasing. In the second type, which is open type, in this open type culture, both the cells and used medium are replaced with the fresh medium, thus maintaining culture at the constant and some maximal growth rate. Open continuous cell suspension culture is of two types again. First is chemostat. In this system, culture vessels are usually cylindrical or circular in shape and possess inlet and outlet pores for aeration and the introduction and removal of cells and medium. Such a system are maintained in a steady state, and thus in a steady state condition, the density, growth rate, chemical composition and metabolic activity of the cell all remain constant. Such continuous cultures are ideal for studying growth kinetics and the regulation of metabolic activity in higher plants. This is the flow diagram of chemostat. Arrow show direction of the flow of liquid. In this, you can see that AI, which is air input, F is your sterile glass fiber, and AO is your air output, CW is cotton wool, and EL is volume sensing electrodes, ELV is volume controlling outlet valve, MI is your medium input, S is your stereo magnet, ST is sample tube, P is probe for oxygen tension, and DD is density detector, CRV is culture receiving vessel. This is DD, and CRV is culture receiving vessel. MS is your magnetic stirrer. IP is inoculation port. This is the IP. So this is the flow diagram of chemostat culture. Next one is the turbidou state. Turbidou state is a continuous culture method where the turbidity of the cell culture is held constant by manipulating the rate at which medium is fed. In this system, the cells are allowed to grow up to a certain turbidity when the predetermined volume of culture is replaced by fresh culture. The turbidity is measured by the changes of optical density of medium. An automatic monitoring unit is connected with the culture vessel, and such unit adjusts the medium flow in such a way as to maintain the optical density or pH at chosen present level. What is the importance of cell suspension culture? Such systems are capable of contributing significant information about cell physiology, biochemistry, metabolic events, etc. It is important to build up an understanding of an organ embryoid formation starting from a single cell. Mutagenesis studies may be facilitated by cell suspension culture to produce mutant cell clone from which mutant plants can be raised. Here we can discuss about the advantages and disadvantages also. In the advantages, the nutrient can be continually adjusted. This system can be scaled for large scale production of the cell. A whole plant can be regenerated from a single plant cell. If we talk about the disadvantages of cell suspension culture, so the productivity of suspension culture decreases over extended subculture period, slow growth and low productivity of plant cells, and cells may get damaged by shear conditions. So this is the sum up of this session, and this session is taught by Digital Version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. And if you have any query, then mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.